If you wanna win more racks in pool, it is time to make a very creative decision, and I promise you, you will leave your opponent speechless for a very long time. I know it may sound strange, but sometimes making a harder decision turns out to be the best choice, and I'm gonna reveal a reason behind the secret later on. But first, let's talk about this easy looking 8 ball situation where we need to get from one ball to the final 8 ball, but the biggest problem makes tribal which blocks bottom left corner. We are forced to make position to the left side of the table, and actually we can play one ball very thin and go around the table using 4 or 5 rails. However, during this attempt we need to control speed of the shot to avoid landing in uncomfortable place. On the other hand, we can hit the cue ball slightly below its center using a lot of right spin, and after contact with bottom rail, land with quite high angle to the 8 ball, which sometimes can make some problems in stressful moments. If you remember one of my episodes of how to play pocket hangers, you will know that you absolutely cannot play this ball with high speed and a lot of topspin, but this time you should use this knowledge to execute a kind of trick shot. All what you need is to hit one ball relatively full, apply a lot of topspin and use very high speed. Cue ball has a lot of forward rotation which plays a huge role after contact with bottom rail, causing it to grab the cloth more and follow a banana shape. This behavior causes the cue ball to avoid hitting 8 ball and land on the left side of the table with perfect shape. Tip number 2 is based on a really awkward 9 ball situation like this, where we face very easy 4 ball and we need to get to the 8 ball which is placed close to top rail. But the biggest problem makes 9 ball which is located next to 4 ball and cue ball automatically hits this ball, and honestly, these annoying obstacles can be such a nightmare because we are not able to force this positioning using a lot of topspin as well as deep draw shot. Instead, take your break cue elevated about 20 to 30 degrees and hit the cue ball with a very short and fast stroke. This type of hit causes the cue ball to jump a little bit right before hitting the 4 ball, and the next step jump over the 9 ball. This creative solution allows us to avoid obstacle and cue ball after hitting side rail going immediately towards right side of the table, landing with perfect shape to the 8 ball. However, executing this type of shot we need to be very careful and avoid hitting too hard, because the cue ball can fly off the table or we can just lose position to the next ball. Alright, but now let's circle back to our creative decision which sometimes can change absolutely everything. We need to talk about this tricky situation where there is no chance to pocket 4 ball directly. Most of players will use safest possible solution trying to leave 4 ball and cue ball on opposite side rails, but after this attempt we are leaving a chance to make a bank shot into the side or corner pocket. On the other hand, I can see players who try to play a bank shot into the top right corner. This is not bad option, but we need to use more speed and side spin, so there is very high chance to miss this ball and leave easy start to our opponent. Even if we make that ball, then it might be quite difficult to control cue ball's path and land with good shape to the 9 ball. The last obvious choice I need to mention is trying to play 4 ball very thin and send the cue ball to the top area really close to top rail. Another not bad option, but there is a huge chance of hitting 4 ball too thick, what creates another easy start to our opponent. And here is why in this particular case you should use creative and aggressive solution. You need to hit 4 ball with half ball contact and apply bit of left spin, causing it to contact 3 rails and go towards right side pocket. I know it may sound strange, but this is a very creative solution, because if you even miss this ball, then it's going towards bottom rail, while cue ball lands very high close to top rail, and key factor will be correct amount of speed. Okay, moving on. Cue ball and 4-ball are frozen to the same bottom rail, so there is no angle to create good position to the 9-ball, which is placed very close to top rail. In the first solution, you need to aim 4-ball perfectly straight and then apply low right spin using backhand English system, so our bridge stays still and we change cue tip position by moving our grip hand. This type of adjustment causes the cue ball to hit rail first and 4-ball tiny bit thinner. After this hit, cue ball going immediately towards side rail, where right spin plays a huge role because we experience additional rail grip, which makes it possible to send the cue ball to the top area of the table. On the other hand, you can use second very similar solution, but this time when you aim 4-ball perfectly straight, you need to use once again backhand English system, but this time apply top left spin. Once again, cue ball hits 4-ball tiny bit thinner, but this time going immediately towards opposite side rail, where left spin gives more grip on the rail and we are able to land in top left area of the table. In my opinion, second option is much easier to execute, because we need to use much less speed than during deep draw shot, but the key is a good stroke quality. If we hit too hard, then 4-ball will not be accepted by the pocket due to pocket speed factor, so in this case soft hit is absolutely essential to achieve success. Now let's talk about this incredibly frustrating situation, which I'm sure many players have experienced countless times. 8-ball is a pocket hanger, but cue ball is hidden behind the jaw of the opposite corner pocket, what makes it impossible to pocket 8-ball directly. We could actually try to execute a kick shot, but unfortunately 9-ball is located in really awkward place, blocking every possible conventional kick shot escape. And the key to escape this situation is to hit the right point of corner pocket, because then cue ball going immediately along bottom rail towards opposite corner, so we are able to make the 8-ball and get automatic position to the 9-ball. But just like in each of the previous situations, precision is the key, because we have to hit the right point of the corner pocket. If we hit too much on the left, then cue ball will go long and hit 9-ball first. But if we hit too much on the right, then cue ball going short and hit bottom rail first. I know that initially this shot may seem very difficult to execute, but I am sure that with bit of practice, you will get a feel for it pretty fast, and you will be able to impress your opponents and leave them speechless forever. Making a right decision in crucial moment might be quite difficult, so in this video I present another bunch of useful tricks that can help you escape really awkward situations.